Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Innocent victim of this homicidal maniac. The insidious Joker has been here already. He always leaves his victims laughing.
Oh, poor Mr. Wilson.
Holy Superhero Month, Batman. Okay, so I took all the flan blades, not flan blades, off of the fan, and I'm gonna wash them, obviously, because they're super dirty and grody, and then I'm gonna paint them because I can. So, yeah. So this is gonna be the back, and I've numbered them. So these are gonna be facing the ceiling, and if we ever need to flip them over for any reason, this part will be hidden, so I don't have to worry about it because I had to use a paint pen to do it. I just found some random, this isn't even really like duct tape, it's like packing tape almost, so I haven't used it, even though I love Monster High, I haven't been able to use it. So I use that to hold them together, so hopefully, haha, it is working. They'll stay together in one form, so I have a lot of yellow. So yellow is going to be the base paint for this. I'm going to start with this just Crayola, and then I'll move up and probably put a little bit of this on top, and then I'll add the bat signal. So I'm going to move my rug, I'm going to put out some plastic bags, and I'm going to paint this. Yeah. Them twice, and it did nothing. Whatever they're made out of, it didn't work. So you can sand them if you feel so led. If you're going to, I would get a sander. I didn't have any problems, and I haven't had any problems yet, so I don't think it's necessary with this project. So this is after the first coat. I actually ended up having to use this with a little bit of this mixed in just to even get it to coat at all. Obviously a very obvious first coat, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm just gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna be very careful walking around it. And, yeah, in about an hour or so, I'm going to fix that little bubble that just popped up. I'm going to put the second coat on, and then the third coat, and then I'm going to top it off with the fourth coat of banana from whatever this is. Oh, crap, that's oil. I don't want to use oil. Never mind. I won't be topping it up with this because this will take forever. But hold on, I've got a cat hair. I will be doing about 2 or 3 more coats because, again, it doesn't have to look perfect, just passable. And then I will put the bat signal on top of it. So, whoop, whoop. I'm going to have a bat signal on my ceiling. So, yeah, that's cool. I started out an hour making a mock-up for, like, an outline thingy to go over here. That's why it's all yellow. Nope, I just knocked over my brushes. Because I've been like testing out the paper on here. I just used a roll of paper I had laying around, but you can use anything. And I like adjusted my bat signal like 50 times. I just put the second coat on. And yeah. I'm hoping to get the sorry about that. I'm hoping to get the streakiness gone. We'll see if that happens. But it is just the second coat, so if I can't get the streakiness gone with this, I'll go get some spray paint and I'll do that. But fingers crossed. This is what it looks like while it's sitting on here. I'm just checking for scale again. I'm not worried about the bubbles because obviously I'm not actually painting it on right now. I just did a technique to kind of break up the brush patterns a little bit because they don't seem to be fading away. I'm going to let it dry for a couple of hours and then we'll see if they'll fade. But if they don't, I'll just do this like sponge pattern instead. So it actually looks really cool when you take it off. But I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I can't decide if I should have this on here and then paint around it and then take it off and like trim that part of the outline in black. I don't know. You'll see what I do in a minute here. I have the outline on and I'm gonna use this house paint that I have from painting the window frames for the center, and then I'm gonna keep just touching it up by using some acrylic to do the outline, but yeah, and then I just have to keep touching up the yellow. But it looks good so far, even though you can see the wood grain through it. It looks really cool, so yay. Hi there. So what you're about to see in this next section is not paint. I don't know what in the hell this product was, but it was black and it looked like paint, and I had it in my drawer, obviously. So I grabbed it and I was going to use it, and I used it, and then it didn't dry for almost 12 hours. But I ended up wiping it off and having to start over with the black part. It all worked out in the end, but yeah, just know when I say I'm using acrylic on the next section, I'm not using acrylic, and I forgot to film it because I got really frustrated that it wasn't drying. But yeah, the more you know. This is 3 coats of yellow, 1 coat of black, 2 of the outline. It wasn't working in the traditional way, and it didn't matter what I did, you still saw brush strokes. So I did some watercolor techniques, even though I'm using all acrylic. Varying levels of acrylic, but still, like, even technically, that's acrylic, even though it's kids paint. Actually, that might be water-based, but I'm not sure. Anywho, it took forever. There are a couple little touch-ups I'll have to do with the black, but I'm going to leave the yellow as it is. So I kind of did some watercolor techniques that I know on it. I'm leaving the brush strokes in. I'm just going to touch with the black, make it a little more vivid, especially over here. Mod Podge it, and then hang it up. So I've done 4 layers of the, yellow. Just gonna let it dry. I had a catwalk on it, so I had to fix it. And then I'm gonna let it dry like this. I do have it taped together on the bottom. I'm pretty sure I showed you that. I don't remember. So after it's done drying, I'm gonna take it apart, like take the tape off. I'm gonna use some regular Mod Podge. This is just the glossy kind. This is one that I've had for a while. I don't have much in here. So we had to run to Hobby Lobby and get big enough sponge brushes, because I didn't have any that were big enough. The ones I have would take a million years to do this thing. And then I also got some hard set Mod Podge, which I've used before. So yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a layer of this just as like an isolation layer, just basically to protect all of the work that I've done. And then I'm gonna use this like an epoxy to set it. Because I was gonna get an epoxy, and then I was looking into it, and it's like, oh, I'd have to have a respirator. That's not gonna happen today, because it's not gonna happen today, and I really need this to go back up on my fan because it's supposed to be hot tomorrow, or the day after, or something like that. So I just did that, and I'm gonna go rest and stuff, I guess, until this is dry enough to do the next thing. Apparently the black I had wasn't paint, and it never dried, and I had to get paint and repaint it. So it's still tacky, but it's been drying for over a couple of hours now. Oh, I also filled in the holes because I was preparing to Mod Podge, but still don't know what it was. But it wasn't paint. It wasn't oil paint, I know that. Before anyone suggests it. And my mom didn't know what it was either. Ew! Oops. Anywho, it's all drying. It's gonna take a couple of extra coats, obviously. And then I'll get to Mod Podge it with regular Mod Podge and then the hard set. It was a long, frustrating night, but hey, thankfully it wiped right off. And this one won't, so. Wait. Sorry, I forgot to show you. It's a disaster in here right now, but I have the first layer of Mod Podge on everything. So I'm gonna let that dry all the way for about an hour, and then I'm going to start with the hard set, which I had to put like 10 layers on. And yeah, as you can see, I had to cut my Mod Podge bottle just to get enough to do a 1 layer. So it's really good that I bought more Mod Podge, because it's Sunday and Hobby Lobby isn't open, and Hobby Lobby is like the only store in town that really has like different types of Mod Podge. I could make it if I had to, but I wanted the hard set, so yay. So I can't put the last one up, because we have to go buy a screw. But it's almost done, and that's what it looks like right now. So when I get it all up, I will show you what it looks like when it's on, because I really like it so far. So yay.